Hello, welcome back to another thrift video. For a change, I'm in a car because now I know how to drive and I have a car. I can actually go to all the different places that I previously couldn't go to without a car. This is feeling very full circle for me because growing up, like, American thrift videos were the only kind of like YouTube content that I was consuming. So this is like my slice of the thrift vibe. In terms of clothes especially, I don't need that many clothes. The only things that I'll keep an eye out for is some kind of fun t-shirts, graphic tees and tops, some athleisure bottoms, mainly for working out, things like that, just some cute ones, and capris. That one's very specific to like cargo trousers and whatever. I feel like most of the capris I find in the charity shops are not great for me, but I'll keep an eye out anyways. I really want to find some DVDs. I've just been wanting to watch more films while I'm knitting and crocheting, but all the streaming services, they're stressing me out, and I find it so hard to pick things from streaming because there's just too much choice. Whereas I think if I just like every now and again get a few DVDs, I watch them and then I can just redonate them or whatever. Enamel dishware. I actually looked at buying a new like dishware set, fresh new, but then I was like, there's no point. I'm sure I can like piece together the things that I need. Just generally I'm looking for fun frames and art. Previously I was always looking for big things, but I don't think I need that many big ones anymore. I just like some fun little ones that I can dot around the house. Some wall decor like sconces, mirrors, plates, vases to hang on the wall, anything wall related I think I could do with. And I'm very specifically looking for wicker baskets, one for camping, one maybe to turn into a cat bed, and then one I want to use to store our toilet paper in the bathroom. I actually know where I can go for those. I might go there today, I'm not sure, we'll see how I feel after this one. And then just some vases. Maybe it would be nice to change it up, like some printed vases or something, I don't know. I really want to find a stained glass feature to put in our dining room door that we installed. We have like a top sort of, what do you call that? It's not skylight, but like a top light, and I think it would be really nice to like hang stained glass next to that. Then always looking for curtains, some cute curtains I can use, also use for fabric, but yeah, maybe just generally some nice fabric curtains. And then I really want to find a cute small duvet cover for my sleeping bag. Yeah, let's go have a look. I actually need to get out the car as well. It is so hot and my car doesn't have air conditioning. This charity shop is brand new. I think it only opened like a few days before I came here, and there is nothing more exciting than going to a new charity shop, especially a brand new one and a large one like this as well. And I started out in the dishware trinket section, and they actually had a lot of really cute things, like some nice glasses, some dishware, cute little vases and mugs and stuff, and so I had to be quite picky with what I actually went for. Their curtain and fabrics were stacked, so I had a good look through those. I was considering for ages whether this floral duvet cover was nice or not, and looking back, I'm glad I left this behind. This would not have worked for our home decor. Quick look through the frames, which is always my favourite part because you never know what you might find hidden behind some of these more ugly artworks, let's say. Then I went over to the clothes and they had a lot of rails. I did end up going through every single item, so I was here for a very long time, but out of all of the rails I only found 2 items, which I do really love, so it's definitely worth it, but also just goes to show how much stuff you have to go through to find the gems. Lots of DVDs and lots of books as well, so yeah, overall this charity shop was really well stacked. I came with one bag and that bag is already full so that was successful. I didn't want to buy that much stuff, but I don't know, I'm in a spendy mood today, so because of that I think I'm gonna head out to Wymondham. I have gone there before in one of my other thrift videos, but I'm gonna go back because I know for a fact that I can get some wicker baskets at the furniture warehouse because I saw on Facebook that they posted about them, so I'm gonna do that. And then there's also a crafty charity shop around the corner. Yeah, we're gonna see what damage I'm gonna do. I'm in a spendy mood today, which is good for this video, but it is not so good for not just my bank account, but just like all the stuff that I have at my house. You know, I don't need really that much more stuff, but it's just so fun to buy things. All right, let's head off.
I was so sure I would find some baskets here, but they actually ended up not really being what I was looking for, so I was a little disappointed. And I could also feel myself looking for very specific things in this place, which is always a tricky approach, and it's just always generally better to just go in with an open mind. So I just had a little mooch around all the different rooms, but yeah, nothing really stood out to me specifically. They did have this stained glass, which would have been the perfect size for what I'm looking for, but it did have some cracks and it was quite warped and overall just not really colourful enough, so I left it behind. But it is good to know that things like this are out there. It will just take me a really long time to find the perfect one.
I was really thinking about whether to get one of the, is it like an obelisk or whatever it's called, the things that you put around the planters. I do actually currently have a plant in my garden that is drooping and I'm holding out for bamboo sticks, and then for some reason I didn't go for it. I don't know, I wasn't really feeling it. And then the baskets, they weren't really how I wanted them. Some of them look like how I wanted them, but then they had sort of like upgraded them. They're definitely like new stock that they got in, like they're not secondhand baskets. So yeah, unfortunately no luck. But I'm gonna head to the craft charity shop now.
This place is amazing, and I always tell everyone to come here if you live in the area. They have the usual charity shop stuff like the trinkets, the dishware, the clothes, but they also have some furniture and vintage fabrics and clothes, and then they have this whole room full of crafty things, from yarn to buttons to fabrics and so much more. It's honestly overwhelming sometimes. I actually haven't had much luck in the button section the last few times I came here. Did, however, really like these two framed artworks, and I massively regret not getting this Van Gogh prints. I don't know what I was thinking leaving this behind. I spent ages looking through the DVDs, which were all 25p each, and I can tell you now I got a lot of DVDs here. They recently added this massive room which is full of books. They have this vintage section of trinkets and fabrics, and I especially loved looking through all of these vintage knitting patterns. Hello, welcome back. Slightly different environment today. I am still in my car, however I am in the middle of the field because we're going to a car boot today. This is my first time ever going to a car boot, so I'm very excited. It is super busy already. I got here like just before 8, so maybe this is too late already. Maybe I need to get here for like 7:30, which is when they open. But yeah, I'm just going to have a little look. I think I've got about £26.50 in cash, so that's what we can spend today. That's my limit. I am banking on finding some wicker baskets. If I don't find them here, I don't know where I would find them, to be honest. And then yeah, anything else fun that I can find. A little rummage. I don't want to buy too much tat, hopefully. Maybe I'll get carried away and just buy tat, I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's go.
Am I looking for a bit of gold, or am I searching for meaning? Ooh, staring deeply into the dark, underneath the emerald stars. Am I building an empire, or am I letting...
Alright, last stop on our thrift tour, and I'm in Bungay, which is on the border of Norfolk and Suffolk, and I came here for the first time a few weeks ago and it is super cute. There is a very large charity shop a little bit further out from this town, which is mainly where I want to go, but I also really want to go to this bakery, which I didn't get to go to last time. And then while I'm here, I might as well have a look around some of the charity shops because again I didn't do them last time I was here. In terms of items, I think I mainly want to try and find more cute little interesting frames. I don't need any more large frames until I've hung the large ones that I already have at home. Don't really need any more DVDs. I think I'd rather rely on renting from the library from now on, and also all the DVDs are literally the same, so I don't really know if I'm in the mood today to just keep looking at the same DVDs. I haven't found any enamel dishware. Still would love to find some for my camping trips. Could do with a couple more wicker baskets, maybe some plant pots if they're cheap, fabric. Gonna keep that in mind. So let's head out. You guys are not ready for how cute this town is.
Right, after fueling up on some energy, this was the first charity shop I went to, and I started on a very good note. I was trying to figure out why some charity shops are just so much better than others, and how you sometimes know just from walking in and going through a couple racks if there are goodies hiding, because some charity shops I walk in and I don't even bother looking through all of the racks because I just got a bad vibe. There's definitely an art to stocking them and curating them and organising things. They did have some lovely shoes. These were so cool. They were about 3 sizes too small, unfortunately, so I left them behind. Some polka dot, which I always have to say no to because I have enough of these polka dot dresses. And then I did try on a couple things here. First of all, this khaki skirt fit me so perfectly, but it was just too high-waisted, and I can't stand when the waistband literally sits on my ribs, so that was a no. And then the red top just fit a bit loosely, and I didn't love the neckline either. The next one was also very nice, and I found some good things in here. I sort of half-heartedly went through some of these clothes. They did have a lot of vintage jeans, which I always love to see, but really I wanted to check out their trinkets. This mirror was unreal, but I just couldn't think of a place in my house to hang it. And then otherwise none of the sort of dishware and things really stood out to me that much. I did find a really good art print in here. Then this charity shop was huge and had quite a few different rooms to it. Again, I went straight to the trinket room, of course. I was still really hoping to find some enamel mugs or plates or maybe some fun small frames. But yeah, again, nothing really stood out to me, unfortunately, but it is still always fun to have a little rummage. There was this painting which was really nicely framed. Again, I kind of wish I bought this. Now, they did have this box full of buttons, and trust me, I went through every single button strip to find the absolute best ones.
That was a very successful trip. I got some goodies, as you can see in the back. The charity shop that I now wanted to go to is closed today, which is so annoying. I wish I looked that up before I came here. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go drive to the next large-ish town over, Beccles. There's quite a few charity shops in the town centre that we can go to. I don't think I'm quite done yet. I can still do a few more, maybe get a little snack, keep me going. Very important with charity shopping. You have to keep your energy flowing. But yeah, I'm gonna do that.
At this point, it feels like it's getting a little bit repetitive, but once again, I wasn't too bothered about the clothes in this one. Sometimes I also feel like there are just too many racks and they're too full, so I just cannot be asked. But they did have some nice dishware, and I had a look in the men's for some graphic tees, but as usual, no luck there. Then I didn't film much in this charity shop, but I actually found some clothes in here. I thought this Adidas t-shirt might be quite cool, but the fit was a bit awkward, and overall it was nothing special. I wasn't even going to try this top on because I literally never wear anything green, but the shape of it intrigued me, and I did actually really like how this fit, wearing it sort of back to front so the neckline sits a bit higher at the front. Then the skirt was sadly way too big. It was also very much out of my comfort zone in terms of the colour and the shape, but I don't know, something about it really intrigued me. Then I did find a couple of capris. These black ones I really liked from the front, but they were just too tight and form-fitting at the back. And then these red ones, again, they fit me so well. I just really hate tight and form-fitting clothes, so I just knew that even if I bought them, I would never feel comfortable wearing them.
I'm back home and I've got a pretty good haul of all of the things that I found over the 3 trips I did. I'm just going to go straight into it because I do have a feeling that this video is very long. So I'm going to start with artwork, wall art things. So I weirdly actually didn't find as many like smallish frames as I hoped. There are obviously lots of small frames, but they're just never like unique enough for me to go for them. So I got this little frame with a church of Little Snoring, which is a town in Norfolk. I actually really like the artwork, the print as well, so I don't think I'm going to put anything else in that. I'm just going to keep it. This was £4. I have just been keeping it on a shelf further down from the bookcase, so that's where that's going to live for now. Then at the car boot, I got this long frame. This time I don't like the print as much. I want to take it out, and instead I want to put a photo booth strip in there. Then this one's really random. I really didn't know whether to get this or not, but I thought for £3 it was worth a try. But I want to hang this up on the wall somewhere. It kind of reminds me of when people hang plates, but I don't love, like, I'm kind of starting to come on board with whole plates hanging situation. But this kind of reminded me of that. I feel like somewhere random, well obviously not here, but yeah, somewhere random, I think this could look quite fun. Then I did get one larger print in a frame, and it is this cat, which is really cute. It's definitely not like the greatest, but I actually really liked how it looked in this frame, and I've been keeping it on the other side of the chimney breast, and this goes really well with these little ones that I also found secondhand. I actually only accidentally hang it there just to keep it like off the floor, but I really like how it looks there. And then this was really interesting. I kind of just went for it. I don't know how I'm going to use this yet, but this is a mounted print. Yeah, it's definitely a print. It's not like an original. This was £10, so it was definitely a bit more expensive, and it's kind of random, but I really like it, and it's really rare that you find like good artwork secondhand. And like I said, I have a lot of large frames that I need to start hanging up, so I wonder if this will fit in one of the frames that I already have, because yeah, it's a lot easier to find frames than it is to find artwork. So this I think is quite cool. I do like the pink. I have quite a lot of pink sort of accents going on in the house, so yeah, this one will look quite cool, I hope. I found a couple bits of pottery, which is really fun. The first thing I got was this jug, which I quite liked. I can't remember how much this was, but like I said, I wanted to find some sort of vases and stuff, and yeah, this one's really unique and interesting. This also lives on top of the piano near the cat print. I always really like having brownish features as well, like a lot, as you can see in my house, is very colourful, so things like this are quite nice to just tone everything down a little bit. And then I found this plant pot, which is so cute, and this was £3.99. It doesn't have any holes at the bottom, so I don't know how I'm going to utilise this yet, but I think I'm going to put it outside. We have like a shelf with plants, and I have some other nice pots in there that I'm displaying without plants in them, so I might just do that, pop it on there. I'm kind of trying to lean a bit more into my inner cottagecore vibe, so this felt very on brand for that. Then I got these 6 water glasses, which are this sort of pale yellow, and they have this white rim as well, and they were £4.99 for 6 glasses. They had so many of them. I swear they were like 18 or whatever, I don't know, but yeah, I felt like 6 was enough, and they are quite a nice sort of size, and getting my glasses and stuff out when we are hosting is one of my favourite things. Like, I have to sort of mix and match quite a lot because I never have a matching pair, but yeah, now I have these. And I like that they're colourful, but not like overwhelmingly so. Like, they will blend in with most sort of decor items that I have. Then I got 2 mugs, definitely something that I don't need more of, but I, again, when we're hosting, really like getting the funny mugs out that we have. So I felt like these would add a lot of value to my collection, and I can't take full credit to finding these because Norfolk Retro on Instagram posted about the new Ryder charity shop, and the mugs were in the post, and I just thought they were so funny, and I didn't expect them to still be there when I went, but they were, so I had to grab them, and I think they were both like £2 or £3. This is what they look like. We've got this one which says, "I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you." I mostly just liked the font. Like, the font is really cool, and the colours as well. And then this one's a floral one, and it says Walter, which is hilarious. Why is it so cutesy and floral, and then it just has that in the middle? Absolutely hilarious to me. So yeah, love these. Then sort of seamlessly moving into some fabrics, I was obviously on the lookout for curtains and lacy fabrics to utilise as curtains, which I didn't have that much luck with. There's always a lot of lace and a lot of curtain, but it's just never specifically what I want. But what I did find was, first of all, this single duvet set, which fits my sleeping bag, and I've already used it on my first camping trip, and it is so cute. So it has this floral design on one side, which kind of becomes bigger towards the ends, and then I really like the other side, which is just lots of flowers. It literally couldn't have been more perfect. And also what I really like for camping in particular is that it just has these like snap buttons, so it's just so easy to pop on and off, especially because it's not on my sleeping bag for that long. But yeah, I was really chuffed with this find because this is one very specific thing that I wanted to find. I kind of knew I'd be able to find secondhand. I was starting to look on the internet for duvet covers, and after a while I was just thinking to myself, like, what am I doing? I know I can find this in the charity shop. And then this I got today. I actually haven't looked at it fully, but it is a set of tablecloths, 4 of them, and this was £5. So let's actually have a look what these look like, because my idea for them is to turn them into curtains, Possibly. It just depends how big they are. Okay, they are actually quite big. The only thing I'm not sure on is that it definitely has sort of like a greenish tint. I would maybe for curtains prefer them to be fully white, but I could be wrong. I'm definitely going to try and see how they look as curtains. Yeah, they have like a really nice sheer feel. So if they were like bunched up, I think they could look quite cute. We will see. Then I got 4 clothing items. First thing is this red t-shirt, and it came with much longer sleeves that they were like hemmed, obviously, but my plan was to crop them. As you can see, I just cut them and I think it looks fine. I will try it on for you. Like, the fit of this is now perfect. I felt very suffocated by how tight the sleeves were, and also just sweat-wise, it was like too tight, but now I've got a bit of room. I basically brought this with me on a camping trip and it was my only option to wear really that day, and like I said, I was desperate. I had to just cut the sleeves, which is what I did. I literally just cut them, and I much prefer this sort of mini cap sleeve moment, and I don't think it's a problem that I didn't hem them properly. I think this sort of flared edge works really well. But yeah, this t-shirt's literally perfect. The way it is cropped, the perfect length, exactly where I like it. It kind of goes in but then flares out. I'm obsessed with it, and this definitely is something that I've been looking for to buy, but I feel like finding a good t-shirt with a good fit comes at a price that I'm most of the time just not really willing to pay, and this probably cost me no more than £3. Then I got this sort of tank top / mini dress. I almost feel like this is supposed to be like a bodycon dress, which is not how I want to wear it. This again is going to be a crop number. I haven't done it yet because I'm actually going to hem it properly. I don't like how the flared out looks when you crop at the bottom, and I am also wearing this back to front, so the logo is actually here, and then it has more of like a round cut out at the back. Yeah, just because I prefer this sort of high neck. I think that's a lot more trendy at the moment. Another stripe number, this time in green. I really wasn't sure on the colour. I don't wear a lot of green, especially not this kind of light green, but I do think the sort of pink hem kind of makes it okay, like it makes it a bit more interesting, and a very similar fit to before, a bit looser. It has sort of like a frayed out loose bottom here. Again, wearing it back to front, so I have the round back neckline. This one's from Bowden originally as well, so pretty good brand, and it cost me £3.25, so again, not bad. This is literally ready to wear. The question is just whether I'm going to grab this over my plain white, plain black tank tops that are very similar to this. I hope I do. I feel like sometimes I'm looking for ways to just like very simply elevate my outfits, or just make them a bit funkier, a bit more interesting, and I think this is like perfect because I'm comfortable in it. Then I got the skirt, which is way too big for me, unfortunately. It does have these belt loops to put something through, so I could sort of cinch it, but my thinking almost is to add a button along both the sides. I can't really show you, hold on, let me clip this. Yeah, to add a button on both these sides here to then like button back, if that makes sense, so I can still maintain the actual sort of pleated shape of the skirt. I just feel like cinching it would make everything look weird. I don't know. I could maybe try cinching it. That would definitely be easier if I find like a nice ribbon maybe. But yeah, this is very different for me. Definitely the pink and also the shape. I was very inspired by my friend Ella, who's like my absolute style icon. And they've got this amazing sort of plaid pleated skirt, and they wear it just like casually with trainers, and it looks so cool. I feel like this with obviously, I mean, it works really well with this top, but this with sort of like black Solomon trainers and maybe just like a white tee or a white tank top could look very cool. But yeah, something very different to, I don't know, just try out. Then I got a couple pieces of jewellery. This doesn't happen a lot or very often, but sometimes I get lucky. Most of the time I can't really be asked to look, but sometimes when I do, I get rewarded. I got this silver bracelet. I don't know, it's just like little circles. I already have a couple other silver bracelets that I really like wearing, so I think I could layer this really nicely with the other ones that I already have. Like I can really create sort of a bit more of a chunky look. And then I got this, I don't really know what you call this material, but yeah, this like little stone beachy necklace. I didn't actually try this on, but I felt like this kind of goes with my my usual necklace stack. I don't actually think these two go together, but I could take this away and then it could look quite nice. But yeah, at least just like something to try out. I usually really like the beachy sort of necklace vibe. That reminds me, actually, I also got this necklace the other week. I didn't film it, but I was just randomly in a charity shop, and I used to have this necklace. I think it's here somewhere. Yeah, I used to wear this necklace all the time, but this thing, it broke. I'm looking to replace it because I absolutely love this necklace so much. In the meantime, because it just felt so naked without this, when I saw this one, I thought this was like close enough of a replica to just like make it look a bit fuller. I love looking for buttons in charity shops. It's like my favorite thing to do. Majority, like 99% of all the buttons that I use for my knit and crochet projects are from charity shops. So I got these two. I very rarely only use two, but when the occasion does come, I always wish that I had like bigger ones. So these I thought were really nice, and they were £1. Then I got these star ones, which again, don't ever really use two, but maybe if I ever need like statement buttons, then I have these for 50p, and I love stars and silver, so that was perfect. And then for 50p, I got these tiny ones. I don't often need tiny buttons, I have to say, but I couldn't say no to them. They are so cute. They have this sort of floral design on them. They're like blue, red, yellow, and just they're so cute. I feel like, again, very cottagecore-esque, and maybe if I do a more traditional knitting project, I don't really know what counts as that, but I feel like then these buttons would be perfect for it. And on the note of knitting, I got one knitting pattern. I very rarely do this because I don't actually end up following the pattern, but I really liked how this looked. I thought it was really cute, and this is definitely something that I would adjust. Like the neckline for me is a bit too round and too low. The arms, don't love them, but definitely something, yeah, that I could just change a little bit. Also, just following old school patterns scares me. Why is this so intimidating? And then I got a knitting book, 12 months of knitting. Not specifically for any of the patterns themselves, but I do find this really helpful to look at. A lot of the time when I'm self-drafting things, I know how I want something to look, but I haven't got the knowledge yet on how to get to that point. So having this as reference, like say if I wanted to make a cable pattern, then I have this to reference, or if I wanted to make an inset sleeve, then I have references here. So for that, it's super helpful. And actually some of the patterns are really cute in this as well. And then I got one book, and it is Demon Copperhead. I'm listening to it currently on audiobook, but I do always like having a physical copy of the books that I've listened to on my shelf, and I thought this was a good one. This has definitely been well read, but I don't have a problem with that. I'm now realizing I forgot two things. One is this basket that I got at the car boot the other day. Like I said, been looking for wicker basket, and this basket is actually the one that I'm keeping our toilet roll in. So this sits on the back of the toilet, and it instantly looks so much better. Our bathroom's very clinical, so this kind of brings in a bit more texture, and it's also just practical to have that in there. Not secondhand necessarily, but I did pick up this really beautiful bouquet of flowers, again from the car boot sale. The lady said that she grew these all herself, which I thought was amazing. And then I, of course, also bought a bunch of DVDs. Let me show you. We have all the DVDs that I got. I honestly just ended up getting DVDs of the films that I really love already. Here we have some Christmas ones that I watch every year anyways, and it's always such a nightmare to find them on streaming, so I have them there, and I'll probably continue growing that collection because Christmas films to me are basically what Christmas is all about. I got all the Twilight films because I would always be happy to rewatch them, so they just seemed like a good thing to invest in. Pride and Prejudice, the BBC drama. I was so excited to find this because, again, not always available on streaming, and I love rewatching this. Same with the feature film. We have Shrek 2 here, absolute classic. Paddington, love watching that again and again. And then I just got some other films that I have either not seen in a while or I've never seen. Obviously, 500 Days of Summer, I've seen that. It's been a while. Little Miss Sunshine, I do quite like. 28 Days Later, Superbad, Watchmen, Midnight in Paris, and In Her Shoes. I've never seen these three. Like I said, I'm kind of like not really buying DVDs anymore now because I don't want to have like too large of a collection, and I did realise I could also just rent them from the library without having to own them. But I think what I'll do is with the DVDs that I end up not really watching, I'll just re-donate them. That's probably me done with charity shopping, thrifting for a while now. I kind of get a bit like burnt out from it, or just like bored of it, or I just don't want too much more stuff. But I know I'll come back around again in a few months. So yeah, this is it for now. Thank you always so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next video, I'll see you then. Bye.